Welcome to the deep dive. If you're a service design pro focused on, really deep organizational transformation, we've got quite the case study for you today.
We do. We're looking at Marijke Jorritsma's presentation from Friday, October 17th. It was called Reimagining Internal Systems, Service Design in High-Stakes Environments.
And Marijke Jorritsma, she's a design manager at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, is that right?
That's right. She's been pioneering service design there, fundamentally changing how they develop and operate spacecraft. Talk about high stakes.
Absolutely. So our mission here is to kind of unpack how user-centered design, how service design works in these incredibly high-stakes internal systems. I mean, literally rocket science.
Exactly. And the starting point, Jorritsma calls it the innovation paradox.
Okay, what's that?
Well, JPL, they're famous, right?
Yeah.
Never been done science and engineering. They've sent missions to every planet. But like a lot of these pioneering organizations internally.
They're running on older systems, legacy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Legacy systems, sometimes archaic processes. There's this huge gap between the external image and the internal capability.
So the thinking is, hey, the rockets work, the missions succeed. Why mess with the internal stuff? Massive inertia.
Precisely. Changing internal processes feels like a huge risk, a disruption to the main mission, even if those processes are causing friction or inefficiency.
So they needed to transform. Who are they trying to change, and what was the big shift?
The main focus was systems engineering. These are the architects, the people designing the entire mission, managing all that complexity.
Okay, the architects and the shift.
It was from a document-based approach to a model-based one.
Right, I remember hearing about this. Document-based. That means lots of separate documents, maybe complex spreadsheets, siloed information.
Totally. Think massive, complex Excel files, different versions floating around, huge risk of manual error, communication breakdowns between teams like propulsion and power, maybe not having the latest info. Knowledge gets lost.
Okay, that sounds risky even if the rockets eventually launch. And the model-based approach.
That aims for a single source of truth, a shared model everyone works from. It allows for simulations, finding errors way earlier. It actually lowers the risk profile quite dramatically.
But JPL had tried this before, right? For years, top-down.
Yep, nearly a decade of trying. Those efforts mostly failed. Jorritsma pointed out that just telling these brilliant engineers, hey, here's a new tool, it's easier, doesn't work.
Huh. So efficiency wasn't the key selling point. How did service design succeed where build it and they will come failed?
Right.
Especially with, literal rocket scientists.
Service design flipped the script. Instead of pushing technology, they went bottom up. They asked, what are these systems engineers actually trying to do? And crucially, what's getting in their way right now?
Focusing on the user's goals and pain points. Classic service design.
Exactly. And that process quickly highlighted how the old document system was actively hindering them, causing rework, creating risks. It wasn't about forcing a tool. It was about solving their problems.
And that led to buy-in. They started collaborating on smaller changes.
Yes, small incremental changes. Bite-sized improvements that showed value quickly. It proved that success came from focusing on the people and their process, not just deploying new software.
So service design became this key partner in a huge digital transformation. Okay, let's distill this. What are the core takeaways for, service design professionals listening who maybe aren't redesigning spacecraft development?
Okay, three main things Jorritsma highlighted. First, lead with people, not technology. It sounds obvious, but think about all the focus now on, say, enterprise AI. Are organizations really understanding the user's process first? Or just buying the tech?
Good point. Avoid the tech-first trap. What's number two?
Accurately characterize the ecosystem. Jorritsma mentioned decentralized systems theory. Basically, recognize that internal systems, especially in large places, aren't simple or centrally controlled.
Right. They're complex networks. Don't look for one single pause or one single person responsible for everything.
Exactly. You need to map that complexity, understand the real, often messy interconnections to find where you can actually make a difference.
Okay, people first, map the complexity. And the third takeaway, how do you sustain change over time?
Focus on incremental wins. Build momentum. Don't try to boil the ocean or change everything at once. Find small things you can improve, show the value, build positive feedback loops. That's how you get traction for the bigger shifts.
People, ecosystem, incremental wins. It really shows how that service design mindset, that focus on the user and the system, can unlock even really entrenched high-stakes challenges. Powerful stuff.
It really is a great example of service design's impact.
Well, thank you for walking us through that presentation and its insights.
My pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
And thank you for listening to The Deep Dive.